Alright, hello, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you've seen a few of my previous videos, you'll see that I like to do a little bit of theorizing on Sonic projects. Sonic Prime, Sonic Movie, if there's any Sonic project coming out, I have probably made a video making a theory about it on this channel. Which is why today, with the help of you guys, I'm going to try and piece together how we would like the Sonic movies to end. Because let's be real, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is probably the end of the Sonic movies. As much as I don't want it to be, I couldn't see them going past 3, but I would love them to. So right off the bat, let's get into...
Feed it a chili dog. Everyone loves chili dogs.
I don't think he can eat solid food.
Well, then put it in the blender.
Well, if you say so.
The chili dog, not the...
Now, with Shadow the Hedgehog being introduced at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it wouldn't be surprising if we saw a few familiar faces in the film as well. So for this, I'm going to be talking about characters that I think will be in the film and rank them kind of in most likely to least likely. Now, in my opinion, most likely villain-wise would be Metal Sonic. This is partly because he's a big fan favourite and I've seen a lot of people asking for him, and also because it's been 2 films of fighting Sonic, also technically the 3rd one. Considering Eggman is this big, huge genius, eventually he's going to have the thought process that every other Eggman's had and gone, hold on, what if I just make my own Sonic? Now, I do feel like this would only work as a post-credit scene. It could be some sort of part that Shadow agrees with Sonic really early on in the film and then Metal Sonic is introduced. But personally, I'd prefer more if it was like a post-credit scene of Metal Sonic turning on, you know, like how Shadow opened his eyes at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, in terms of good characters that will probably show up, I think Amy Rose. And it's partly for the same reasons as Metal Sonic. Whenever I talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I always see loads of people talking about how it'd be cool if we saw Amy somewhere, and how cool Amy would be if she was in the film, so it's obvious the fans want her. And Sonic Team have also been including Amy in a lot of their projects coming up. A lot of things have had Amy shoved into them as well now, so I feel like they're kind of trying to promote her a little bit more. And what would be like the most ultimate way to promote her ever? Putting her in the films. I feel like she'd act like in classic Amy fashion and just obsess over Sonic and not leave him alone, and he's weirded out the entire film. And I feel like Sonic's reaction to Metal Sonic would kind of be similar to how he reacts in Sonic Prime. Confused at himself, you know, why is he standing there? That's me. And then slowly as he's fighting Metal Sonic, he'll kind of realize, oh my god, this is what I sound like. This is how I act in front of people. But that's even if Metal Sonic and Sonic interact in the film. I don't know. I don't think they will. I think if Metal Sonic was in it, he'd be in a post-credit scene. And I think if Amy's in it, she'll probably actually be in the film. I don't think there'd be another post-credit scene teasing her too. Now, let's move on to the type of ending. How is the film going to end? Would it end on a cliffhanger, a happy ending, a sad ending? Well, I asked you guys on my community tab, which, by the way, if you want to be included in these videos, subscribe so you can see these community posts, because you'll pop up in the video. Even if I don't read it out, I show you all at the very end, so you will be in it. So subscribe, you know, community posts. But I asked you all your opinions on what the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 ending would be like, which we will get into a few more of them later on. But for now, we're going to be talking about what endings you guys suggested. Now, Cyberverse Grimlock said, if I say I want a happy ending, I will sound too obvious. What I like to see is an ending that no one, I repeat, no one expected, and leave the fans decide if the ending was happy, sad, good, or bad. Which I do think would be pretty cool to see, you know, an unexpected ending that nobody was looking out for, and hopefully one that teases, you know, another film coming up soon. Now, an ending I saw quite a lot of people talk about and mention, which I think would also work, is how Sonic Adventure 2 ended. Now, obviously, in my opinion, I feel like they'd have to tweak a couple things, because if the ending was the exact same as Sonic Adventure 2, I think a couple of us would be left disappointed. I mean, sure, it would be cool to see it end like that, but it'd just feel a little bit annoying to know that we knew the ending the entire time. They'd have to switch up a few details to keep us on our toes. So overall, we agree an ending like Sonic Adventure 2 would be nice to see, but it'd have to be a little bit different to keep Sonic Adventure fans on their toes and not being able to go, oh, I know how this ends. Now it's time to get on to... Okay, I'll pull up! Post-credit scene is one of the most hyped parts of a film. It's always exciting when you watch the film's over, and there's a nice little something at the end that tells you, hey, we're making another one of these, expect this in it. In Sonic the Hedgehog 1, we got Tails coming in at the very end showing, hey, we're making a second one, and then at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we got Shadow saying, hey, we're making a third one. So what could be in store for Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Who could appear at the end? I mean, I've already kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. Metal Sonic or Amy would be cool to see, but who are some others that I've seen suggested? Now, Kezkaz says, as a post-credit scene, I think it'll end with Rouge flying in to steal an emerald or something and reveal that she will be coming. I feel like a Rouge post-credit scheme would be cool if they differentiated it from the others and made it so you didn't actually see Rouge. You just saw the emerald, you saw a bat swoop in. It gives you enough time to go, wait, hold on, that's Rouge. And then they leave, gone, complete, that's it, that's the post-credit scene. It'd It'd make it stand out from all the other post-credit scenes. It'd be hype being able to analyze it and people being like, oh my god, this is her design, this is what she looks like in the film. And I think overall it just caused a load of excitement. And the superior Scarlet Spider says, honestly, I think they should wrap up the trilogy, not with Rouge or anybody new. Just have the post-credit scene be 2 years later after the third movie and have Tom and Maddie still caring for Sonic, Tails and Knuckles and also living with them. And if they were to end the Sonic movies there on Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I do think a post-credit scene like that would be so nice to see. It's a nice confirmation that all is happy, all's well that ends well, and they're all happy just all living together. It'd be something that any fan of Sonic would be happy with, I'm sure of it. And now, let's get on to...
In life you have roadblocks.
Your ideas. That's right, you remember that community post I mentioned a couple minutes ago? Yeah. I'm going to be reading a few comments from that and saying how I agree with them and kind of twisting them a little bit to make them work. Like, they do work, I'm just saying, like, you know, twisting it to make it work with the context that I've been speaking about so far, you know? I do like your ideas, I promise. The top comment comes from Gold Ninja Gaming, who says, something I'd like to see is the characters returning to Sonic's and Knuckles' homeworld, at least for a short time. There are so many things that could be integrated from the games, and it could be a good emotional moment for Sonic and Knuckles. Possibly Tails too, if we assume he's also from the same planet as them. As much as I'd love for Shadow to stay with Team Sonic at Tom and Maddie's house, it would make more sense for him to strike out on his own, or possibly with Rouge and Omega, while keeping in touch with the main trio. It'd also be cool to see Tails and Knuckles go super at the end too. And I completely agree with them revisiting Green Hills. It's been long enough, I don't think the Echidna tribe is coming for Sonic anymore. And it always confused me that the Sonic movies had a great representation of Green Hill at the start of the film, just for like 5 minutes for it to be thrown away. Now, I'm not hating the Sonic movies. The premise of Sonic being on Earth and having to hide from like Robotnik and the government and stuff is sick. Sonic movie 1 still holds up in my opinion. It is still a really good film. Be honest with me, as a Sonic fan, when you saw that Green Hill come on when the film started, you probably lost your mind just a little bit, you know? It was beautiful, it was amazing, Sonic was doing so many tricks there, it's a wasted opportunity for them to not return at least once. And getting to see some more of where Knuckles came from would be really cool to see, if we don't already see it in the Knuckles show, you know what I mean, in like flashbacks or something. Now, Astronaut Play says, I think it should end with Shadow realizing his purpose and fighting for good. He doesn't join Team Sonic though, and he's much more of an anti-hero. And I agree with this idea just because it sounds like Shadow. I feel like Shadow in the films wouldn't be able to kind of go, you know what, I'm going to join in this team. I feel like just knowing Shadow as a character, he'd be like, no, I am right, I'm going to do this myself whether people are with me or not. I feel as if he'll get tricked by Robotnik at the start of the film, but instead of Knuckles, he'll slowly start to realize himself, oh, hold on, this isn't the right thing. Maybe he helped Eggman make something, and now that it's done, he's realized, oh my god, I've done the wrong thing, and now he needs to stop it as well. Just completely on his own. He doesn't go to Team Sonic, he doesn't want to interact with those guys, he just realizes he's messed up and thinks, right, well, I just need to fix this. Now, Wolf Tamer Play says it should definitely include the Super Sonic and Super Shadow fighting the Bio-Lizard battle, and Shadow sacrificing himself like it did in Adventure 2. The Maria plot is essential to Shadow's story, so they need to include that as well. I doubt that the movie would have a sad ending since it wouldn't really match the movie's overall tone. I feel like the saddest that they'd get with the story is that Sonic would have to leave Tom and Maddie because Gun would become too big of a threat. Maybe Sonic would return to the original dimension that he was in where Green Hill is, Knuckles and Tails could come with Sonic, and Robotnik could also come with them trying to get Sonic's power. They all defeat Eggman and sort of happily ever after. Also, Metal Sonic would be cool. Now, I absolutely love this idea because it gives us a reason to why Sonic and all of that would be in Green Hill, which, you know, ties in with the last theory we just talked about. Having Sonic forced out of Earth and making him go to Green Hill with all of his friends would honestly be such a cool way to make it work, you know what I mean? Not feel like forced. And then Eggman follows them into Green Hill and bang, Sonic, Tails and Knuckles, maybe Shadow, are fighting Eggman in Green Hill Zone. How could you not be happy at an ending like that? Like, let's be honest, how could that not get you smiling in the theatre? But nevertheless, these are theories, okay? These are all ideas. We're just making this up for fun. And if you want to join in on that fun, you know, subscribe so you can see the community posts whenever I post them, so you'll be in these videos. Thank you if you commented. Your comment is about to be scrolling on the screen right now. Shout out to @Cecilia in America for becoming a member. You can also become a member with that blue little join button. Thank you, Cecilia. You're a legend. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, cool and awesome things. Do them, please. I'll see you in a bit. Goodbye.